How's it going? I'm going to be your group leader for our company that's going to be making a shift from face-to-face team meetings to virtual team meetings. So we're going to be creating virtual teams. This class is LED 535, which is Organization and Work Group Dynamics with Dr. Catherine Sees. This is session 4. This is going to be our team operations, our shift to virtual teams. So I'm going to be welcoming all of the 5 prospective clients that we have, which is going to be talking about from our areas of expertise. We have members from sales, welcome. We have members from legal, welcome. And we also have members from clients, welcome. IT, welcome. And risk management, welcome. We all want to make sure that you are here and you are ready to engage in a collaborative learning opportunity. Today, what we're going to be discussing is we're going to be talking about some of the aspects that it comes to growing virtual teams. What we're going to be talking about within these virtual teams are some of the challenges that you leaders will be facing in these creating of the virtual teams within your 5 areas of expertise, where we're going to be focusing on trust, respect, communication, and areas of expectations where we can discuss that within our groups or within our teams. The third area or the third aspect that we really want to be focusing on is the matching of the correct technology to the task at hand in your areas of expertise. And we all get this from Levi, his great book, Group Dynamics for Teams, the 5th edition, provided by the class itself. When we talk about today's focus, we're going to be focusing on the communication challenges, how we are going to instill sustainable communication within your groups, within your teams that you're going to be conducting as leaders. We're also going to be focusing on maintaining the synergy and cohesiveness in the virtual teams. How do we maintain trust, respect, and build up our virtual teams? And then we're also going to be talking about our team's virtuality. What technology do we have to work with, and do we have the right technology as a company to be able to do this? When we talk about the shift, what we harbor, I want to bring a part of that Christian worldview. It comes from Scripture. It says, "Then the Lord God formed the man out of dust and from the ground, and breathed life into his nostrils, the breath of life, and the man became a living creature." We talk about we breathe this life, we breathe this shift. So we have to talk about, as we get with our groups, yes, there's going to be some negativity, there's going to be some misconceptions, there's going to be some doubt or bias when it comes to virtual teams. We have to sell and we have to engage and we have to harbor that life, just like the Lord was able to harbor that life into man. It's a kind of a way for we can bring that every day, and we're able to harbor that within our virtual teams. What is our perspective on this? There's a great article by Rebecca Bacon, and she talks about it, and she says, and she was interviewing some prospective professors from Harvard, and it says, managing a virtual team requires managers to double down on the fundamentals of good management, including establishing clear goals, running great meetings, communicating clearly, and leveraging team members' individual and collective strengths. I thought that was a great quote for this, and I thought it was something that really resonates with what we're going to be getting into. So when we talk about team building and virtual teams and techniques, as we get into that, we really want to talk about that opportunity when it comes to creating a structured environment that allows the team to operate effectively by creating roles and responsibilities and establishing trust among team members. When we talk about that, we saw that in Daniel Levi's book. Leaders should start early and repeat often their roles and responsibilities by providing structure that creates a sense of belonging to the team, which will encourage commitment to the team's goals, which in therefore turn promotes trust amongst team members. And Levi talks about this sequence being a fundamental role to this structured environment. Leaders take more on of an active role in developing the social aspects of the teamwork within the virtual team. Those team leaders will make sure that they're able to define the tasks for each group member. So when you guys are able to get with your groups, you're able to make sure that you're identifying those within, and you're establishing that clear performance expectation, and you're being able to look at that monitor completion. Levi talks about how that is such a great point, and when you're able to do that within a virtual team. When we talk about another opportunity to build the team is periodic performance meetings that encourage a supportive climate and foster psychological safety. So that allows people to feel like they're welcome to give their opinion. They feel that openness and freedom to share. We also want to talk about, as we get into that, leaders regulate communications and define the appropriate, the ability to communicate, and then they ensure the coordination and collaboration in that process. Okay, the next opportunity that we look into is leaders have the ability to provide that face-to-face meetings in order to have clear communication and ultimately function effectively. So if you're having an issue with a certain member of your team, you can have that face-to-face, that one-on-one relationship, or that one-on-one virtual meeting allows us to build and strengthen relationships, improve productivity of that member, build team loyalty within you and everyone else on the team, which allows also great feedback from them to you and ways to measure those goals and progress of productivity. Another way that we look at it from a walk-ins is a great Harvard Business Journal, as leaders will create a charter that establishes norms of behavior during virtual meetings. When we establish a charter, that helps us regulate those guidelines in those virtual meetings, meaning we're much more in control, and we as leaders can do that in our meetings. A charter will help establish norms of behavior when participating in virtual meetings. So we're the ones that are going to show what kind of behavior that we want in our virtual meetings. So we have less distraction in the background. All the intent is on me for forward right here, and we have that ability. Another thing that we can talk about, walk-ins suggests, is the ability to have after action reviews to evaluate the team's work and identify adjustments if needed. This is where we're able to make those adjustments, and we're able to look at those small things that add up and make the bigger picture. When we have those after action reviews, leaders must be aware of the tasks, design, and the processes that will be used to complete them. After action reviews allow the leaders to take more adjustments and identify new ways in which evaluating the team's productivity and performance. As we get into that next opportunity to build more teams, we can talk about building and harboring that prevailing culture of the company. So the bigger picture, our true mission as our company, our mission statement as a company, as well as your mission statement within sales, within IT, within risk management, etc. Another point is leaders need to be more aware of the pace in which work is done. That's really important. That pace, everyone is maintaining a sustainable pace of work. When we talk about that pace, we're not able to have people go up and down. We're able to have that good sustainability. Leaders are responsible for the updated and integrated information flow of the company, meaning the way that new software systems update, or new technologies, whether it's a Mac, whether it's a Microsoft, HP, all those various systems are going to be updated. And we as leaders need to make sure that we're on top of those changes. Leaders need to make sure that they're aware of the nonverbal communication cues in chats, emails, or any written documents. And that goes for just like BRB, be right back, or got to go, GTG, or even emojis, understanding the emojis and what those mean in the context of nonverbal communication. Another way that we need to look at it is making sure that we're matching the technology. Our company will be able to meet the standards and expectations that we're able to have as a project leader, and I will suggest. Each area of expertise will be using different information technologies, right? So people from sales is going to be using different information technologies compared to like IT or compliance. And we're going to have the ability to track these and work in the company with coordinating activities that tracks the progress and analyzes the production of that information that we're able to get. That data is huge. And Levi suggests that as well. Leaders will create spaces for instant messaging or chat rooms that are there to encourage informal conversations and have informal social interactions, meaning we want to create spaces for people that are able to not feel like they're being tracked of what they're saying or what they're doing, or having that they're able to get that information out and build. And we want to create those spaces for those people. Desktop video conferencing, or DVDS, is a real good way to look at the internet, the intranet systems, and collaborative systems, which we empower virtual teams and operations, right? Zoom meetings, Skype meetings, Slack, all those new various types of platforms. What we want to talk about with those tools is those are exact types of platforms. When we look at new video conferencing tools that are to your availability, is Microsoft Teams, Skype, Zoom, UShare. We have a way of instant messaging, Google Hangouts, Slack. Slack's awesome. We're able to use that with my community group at church, Rocket Chat, Rocket.chat. Another way to look at project or team collaboration tools is ClickUp, Jira, or ProofHub. Those are great tools. File storage. So if we have a lot of documents that we need to be sharing, but we need to have that collaboration to share, is obvious, Google Drive or Dropbox or Zoho. Another way to think about it too is the virtual whiteboard. So if we want to have a meeting where people are able to, I guess, have their cursor on the screen and have that ability to have whiteboard and use the ability to have hands-on, is Stormboard, Zipboard, Mural. And these are all great ways for us as a company to utilize technology and make sure that we have that good understanding of which one is the right one for us. And over time, companies will be able to adapt. And so we'll be able to adapt to the communication technologies through the adjustments and modifications of technologies, and then development, new communications norms and procedures. And it is up to the company's leaders, right, for us as leaders to find and figure out the best ways of communication and collaboration that are best for all of you to go. And as we look at it, this is the references that I wanted to make sure that I was using. And I do appreciate your time. And this was a great assignment and I enjoyed it. Thank you and have a blessed day.